Cool. All right. And how do we?
Also, apparently, I grind my teeth so hard I cracked a tooth, and so
Oh
now
no!
I'm waiting for my dentist to be able to fit me in to get a crown, fix said tooth.
That'll be fun.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
it's got the music and everything. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's gonna get us absolutely shit banned on fucking YouTube without a doubt.
Only if anybody actually
pays attention. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured they'd had like an algorithmic thing looking for us.
They might. I don't know.
Yeah. So
Nice.
fun. Yeah. The only difference in that very silly thing is that can I remove it? No, I wanted to remove it. Okay. Is that it Vaughn, aka Ghost Rider, aka the player Mad J, can't be here because he is on a, I think, family camping trip. So
he's out in the woods making fire. Apparently.
Yeah, have fun, Jay. You are missed, but it's actually not a terrible way to go because his character was separated from us or from the main group. So we were gonna have to bring him back. I had a cool idea for bringing him back, but that cool idea can be pushed down the road, and we'll do it later. So let's see what's going on with everybody and check in, and then we'll start the game. Misha, you making anything fun? That's always like, I feel like the question is like, what is Misha making?
So I'm futzing with I got an embroidery machine for my birthday back in May, and now I'm futzing with making random stuff. So I've got this I found this cool thread that's like pink and purple and blue, so it's like perfect by Pride thread to start with. And
nice.
So there's this a shawl for I've got a LARP coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'll get along with that.
Cool. Nice. Jeremiah, you've been playing, I feel like last time we talked you were playing Baldur's Gate 3. Is that
still deep in Baldur's Gate 3?
Nice. What is that a game where like you play one character and then that character it brings other party members in?
Yeah, kind of like you have like your main that you create, and then there's a number of NPCs you meet that you can mix and match your party with to whatever party makeup you want.
Nice. So what is your character again?
My main is he's just a big great sword wielding fighter.
Awesome. Cool. And still fun, still capturing your interest?
Yeah, I've noticed that it's D&D, but I'm getting to the point where I'm getting a little fatigued with all the fighting sometimes, because there's some fun puzzles and exploration and stuff happens, and then it gets interrupted by a fight, and sometimes it's just okay, let's get this over with. So
got it.
I'm considering turning down the difficulty just to make the fights go faster, but we'll see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and my weird fun thing that is happening is that from the end of September, we have so the library where I work had a D&D program going when I got there, and in the effort to not be that guy, that gamer guy, I just stayed away from it. I was like, it's going well. The GM, everyone is thrilled with the GM. I'm going to stay away, and I stayed away. And I met the GM once because I had to work that Saturday, so I got to open the room for them and get the dice and print out the character sheets for them and wish them well. But that GM got a new job, and so I'm gonna have to run the D&D game with a new So what they do in this particular library is they run 3 sessions hopefully with the same group, and that is like considered like a mini campaign. So I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna run Old School Essentials and just see if we can have some fun with that, and we'll see. Also, because I just find 5e a little tiring, and yeah, no one needs that. So we'll see how it goes. But in other game news, the last we saw this game, as the text crawl let us know, was Adama Mazi's sister was being kidnapped by pirates, as was Aiden Brookson and Adama Mazi. But Adama Mazi and Aiden Brookson were in on it. And so we made a bunch of rolls at the end of the last game just to see how smoothly it all went. And everything went smoothly except for police involvement. So like as soon as you got down to the cars in front of the apartment complex where you all were living, you could hear the roar of city security sirens. And it seemed a little soon. And I think they piled Aiden and Adama into one car and piled Adama's sister into another. And then they like took your hoods off because they didn't need, was because the ruse was over, that like they didn't need to keep the ruse up when your sister's not around. And you hear the driver say, "That seems fast." And that is kind of where we are starting, in the back of this car, not with a lot of control, oddly, but still in kind of a weird, a weird place. The other detail that we should remember is the reason why the royal we, the reason why the Adama and Aiden were setting this up was so that a very political knife fight wouldn't take place that would put Adama's sister, who is literally married into the Imperial Earth Admiralty, wouldn't get power over the planet. So that's where we're at. It was a fake, a fake / real kidnapping in order to stop a political situation on the planet that none of you wanted to have happen. Also, if the another wrinkle in this to remember is that if the kidnapping goes off without a hitch, Aiden stands to make a lot of money and kind of become a millionaire. So there's cash involved. Adama is a little frustrated with her sister for marrying a Imperial Earth admiral, and that's kind of where we're at. You can hear you're in these little stolen. You're in these little stolen cars that the pirates stole that afternoon. Probably like a bunch of black SUVs, and stolen off the lot from somewhere, and sirens are oddly nearby, closer than they should be, certainly, and much faster than they should be. I think the pirate in charge of this kidnapping kind of looks to Adama, and she says, as the cars start to pull out, she says, "Do you have any tips on why security got tipped so fast?"
Did you check my sister for trackers or any other sort of transmitting device?
Yeah, I think like the pirates look at each other like, "Whoops."
Oh no, that was my first.
Yeah,
she's got a life alert kind of.
Right. And I think we get a radio call from another. You know what? They probably don't do a radio call, right? They probably do like a text message. you get a text message from the car that has your sister that says, "Hey, she's wearing a bug.
Get rid of it.
That's why the police are onto us." And there's some cussing, and I think the police don't pen you in before you get out, but they are on your trail, and there are, you're in the capital city of the Mozzie planet, and the plan was to get out of town and get to a rendezvous point, get to a ship that could take you farther away and make it harder for you to track. But it's very likely that the police are going to cut off ways out of the city, which leads us to where we are. We're in these cars, heavily armed space pirates. Misha, Jeremiah, are Adama and Aiden doing something? Are they taking control in some way? What's the plan?
I think Adama's like, tell them to get rid of the tracker, and then we're gonna have to split up. Otherwise, it's gonna be too easy.
Yeah, and my thinking is, all that matters is them getting away with your sister. If we get pinned in or whatever, this is your family's planet. You can get us out. I'm thinking they get rid of the tracker, and then I don't know, we run some kind of interference to try to keep them occupied so that they can get away with your sister successfully.
Actually, have them get rid of the tracker, and then chuck me out the window.
Oh, there we go.
She looks at you and says, "Chuck you out the window?"
Yeah, they'll stop for me.
It's
Then
true,
you can get away. They won't shoot me.
Nice. She says, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Should we zip tie you and hood you again?"
Let's not, because I do want to be able to land. And I escaped you. It'll be fine.
Tuck and roll.
She looks at Aiden. You coming with, or you staying here?
I was thinking I would stay because I know the streets pretty well. I've got streetwise, so I'm thinking I could help them put on a merry chase for any cops that don't stop for Adama. Like, I can, get them down back alleys and off of the main thoroughfares to get out of town.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool. They stop or they slow down, and I think they shove Adama out. So why don't you make some kind of a save?
Survival?
I think it just might be Dex, if there's some kind of dexterity equivalent.
I mean, Dex is a stat, yeah.
Yep, great. I think we can just, roll 2d6, roll under Dex. And then, Aiden, why don't you roll a Streetwise and see how good the Merry Chase is?
Yeah. What do you, intelligence?
No, I mean, it's just 2d6 and add your skill for...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just see how well I roll. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Streetwise 1.
I think, like, if you have an intelligence of 12 or higher, you can add another +1.
No.
Cool.
I got an 8.
Awesome. That's pretty good. That's a decent thing. Misha, how did Adama's?
I got a 9.
Okay. And what is her dex?
11.
Oh, great. Yeah. You roll on the sidewalk, smooth as can be. And I think, a couple of the cars stop to make sure you're all right. And then another one kind of goes after the main body. They all split up following, Aiden, like what is your how are you using the streetwise plan? Like what is your plan?
I mean, to lose whoever's following us. So like, whoever the pirate lady that's driving, kind of navigating her through the city, down side streets and keeping her off the main like roads and things, and try to actually lose the cops basically.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I think you end up near a like public transport hub in an alley, and you could hear distant sirens, but they're distant. And they do a quick check to make sure that there's no cameras around, and they say, "This is a good hub. Let's get in the crowd."
I like that plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
lose ourselves in the.
Yep. And
I'll
they
probably make my way back to wherever.
Cool. Yeah, I think Adama is brought to like the family, the Mazi family wing of the hospital to check, and your mother's probably there. As the family doctor looks over you. She's, your mother looking a bit terrified, but still very regal. Says, "Are you okay? Did they hurt you?"
No, I'm skin at my palms a little. I managed to get away. I don't know what's going on there. That's awkward. Have we heard any news? Have they sent any demands?
No demands, and it looks like they all went in separate directions, and we've lost them.
Huh. Well, I guess we should put together a search party for him, eh?
Yeah. Do you think your mom would pick up on stuff? Like, would she realize?
I don't know. I mean, I get the
Yeah.
feeling she didn't spend a ton of time with Adama before this.
Right.
But also she's probably changed, like some of her tells have probably changed since the last time she like spent a long amount of time. So I'm hoping Adama's doing a decent job of blustering through this. Plus it's like she is kind of acting a little shaken up because she is.
Yeah. I feel like there is a way I want to I want to find a way to kind of give this to the abdicate this to the dice. Is there a skill roll you feel like you could roll to show like how well you're bullshitting your way through this? It's a weird one. I don't want like lying to normally be a roll, but this is a situation where I would like the dice to decide for us.
Maybe the only I might have would be Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I think that works.
Maybe with education, intelligence. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say Jack of all trades, and if your intelligence is a 10 or higher, I'll give you another +1.
Okay.
I don't think education would help at all.
Yeah.
There's no class for lying to your planetary duchess mother.
That's a 10.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You rock it out. Absolutely. Yeah, I think your mother waits by the phone for a number of hours, and then puts out a public message. She has a press conference and says, whatever they want, I want my daughter back. We await for your call. And I think there are a bunch of fake calls that come in.
Of course.
And other than that, I think the deal was that the pirates were going to grab her and go quiet until your other sister got done with her.
Yeah, that was the way. It's like
thing.
You got to hold until
Yep.
Is there, because it only just now occurs to me, we didn't talk about it before. Is there any suspicion that like the pirates did this? Like, do the authorities, does the Duchess, do they know who did it, or it's still just like she was taken? We don't know.
Yeah, I think no one knows. I mean, okay. I think Adama threw her off well enough that it went fine. It went without a hitch. And you like led them up. You made your streetwise roll. It wasn't a great roll, but it was a pretty good roll. And I think in the midst of all that chaos, it went pretty well. All things, as almost botched kidnappings go. It did not go full Fargo.
As far as bad ideas go, it went pretty well.
Yeah, totally.
I imagine
that's the worst idea I've ever had.
I mean, that's true. Because I think we'd established that the Mozzies had given me some quarters somewhere.
Yeah.
During all this. So I imagine I eventually kind of make my way back. As if I escaped or something.
Yep. Yeah, I think when you get back, there is, Mozzie Family Secret Service, waiting for you, and a young former Marine. She she has one of those cool card things. It's not just like opening up a wallet. It's like it's a little card reader, and she pushes a button, and like a cool little hollow badge kind of with the Mozzie family crest pops up.
Yep.
She says, Aiden Brookson, you were involved. You were kidnapped earlier today. It seems you've gotten free.
Well, it's not the first time. You spend enough time in the merchant families. And
really, you've been kidnapped before?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, the Duchess insists that anyone who has gotten free comes to the family hospital and is checked out. We would like our doctors to look at you and make sure you're all right, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. I got nothing to hide.
Seems you, she takes you to her unmarked car, and says, opens the passenger side for you. Seems you got out without any wounds.
Like I said, I've been kidnapped my fair share, and you learn to keep an eye out for mistakes big enough to slip through. And I heard them talking about how they stole all these trucks to do this operation, and so once they put some distance away from the authorities, they were just gonna dump them in an alley and switch to some other vehicles they had, and that was my chance. I just took off into the crowd.
I just rolled to see hey, how's the investigation going? And I rolled a 2. So they haven't even recovered the ditched vehicles yet. They have nothing, which makes them fucking, which on one hand is good, but on the other hand makes them really desperate.
Sure.
And I think you get scanned, and a doctor checks you out and says you're fine. And hold on, I need some names.
How's Adama? She kind of managed to. She didn't even wait for the truck to stop rolling. She just barreled out of that thing. I assume she got back okay.
She did.
Good.
I just want to know the name of this Secret Service lady. Well, my name is Special Agent Uzoma. I will be I'll be here to make sure that they don't come back for you. They don't try to get any loose ends.
I appreciate that.
It's pretty amazing that you had no bruises on your wrist, no defensive wounds.
If you don't put up a fight, they don't tend to make an example out of you.
Smart. I will have Adama notified.
Appreciate that. If that's
I think like as
work to go over for this deal, so
of course, we'll get you back to your apartment, and I'll be a silent shadow in your room.
Okay.
And I think she is exactly that. Do you contact Adama and let her know?
Yeah, I would shoot her a message.
Cool.
Made it back to your quarters.
Yeah, I would like. Now that I know that like the Mozzie Secret Service is involved, I'm a little careful with the messages I send because I don't know what they might be snooping on or not.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, probably just a simple message of like, "Hey, glad you got away. I managed to slip away too. I'm all good. I'm back here, etc., etc."
Awesome. I've got the middle sister is Halen, and I need the older sister's name. Where is she?
I thought Udo was the middle sister.
Oh, Udo's the middle. Oh, yeah, Udo's the middle sister. Yes.
Yes.
Halen is the older sister. Great.
Yes.
Good. I'm trying to figure out my
family trees, as it were.
Yeah. I keep all my notes on a whiteboard that I keep near my thing.
Nice.
And then what I do is I just take a picture of it and erase it.
Oh, nice.
So I've got pictures of it all, and that way I don't have like little pieces of paper from 3,000 games all over the place. Or a notebook for each game, and then you lose a notebook, so you have to put the notes into another notebook, and then that I've not found a way that works. This is the closest thing I've gotten to. And
I just use Notepad.
Yeah.
I did start having to take a picture of my character at the end of LARPs because I would inevitably forget to bring the character sheet back to the LARP, and this way I can at least recreate it.
Yeah, smart.
So yeah.
Yeah, taking a picture is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the next thing that needs to happen is the Halen and Adama, because I think that is what the talking heads on the news are saying is like the person with the most to gain out of this is Halen. Like, did Halen orchestrate this?
Interesting. I mean, that was a danger.
And did
I thought that was the plan.
Well, yeah, but obviously we don't.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that any suspicion is on her, but luckily she's not actually involved, so she doesn't have to do any kind of lying or dissembling.
Exactly.
Right.
She'll come across extremely sincere.
Yeah. Misha, do you go to her? Do you wait for her to come to you? How does Adama play this?
So I think she just like shows up at the circle thing.
Oh wow! At the actual ceremony.
Yeah, I mean she's not dressed to fight. She does have weapons on her just because she doesn't ever not have weapons on her. But yeah, she's just like keeping an eye on things.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I think Haley comes to the edge of the circle. She is 2 arms lengths away, as is standard when both people are armed with knives, and it is legal for the two of you to knife fight each other. And she says, probably like a ritualistic welcome, hello, but it's probably like, what have you come to do here today, sister? It's something like that.
I'm just here to make sure things remain fair.
I imagine I might actually be there as a sort of observer, as
right.
this sort of like merchant arbiter position I'm in.
Yeah. You're like the ref. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure everyone is there and fair and whatnot. Cool. Halen says, it seems our sister isn't going to be here.
It appears that way, yes. Unless something happens between now and the end of your time here.
I need you to know that I didn't do this. I was ready to face her.
I'd like to think that the sister I know would not have done such a thing. So, in absence of other evidence, I believe you.
She nods. And,
although, honestly, this feels like more something that Udo would do than something you would do, so.
You think she kidnapped herself?
That would be odd. She could then maybe claim later that it was not a fair contest and have grounds to fight you on her own terms.
Yeah, I think Holly just sighs, this deep, bone weary. And so this all continues.
I didn't say it was going to succeed. I said she could claim it.
Yeah, I'm sure her lawyers are already working on it. Will you go look after this family? I think like there is a certain amount of camera coverage over this, and she says, "Will you go after? There is a family resource out in the sector. Will you go look after it for us?" And she's talking about the capital ship that they've whose coordinates they purchased.
I intend to, yes.
Do you want to put together a team for that?
Oh, sister, I'm disappointed that you think so little of me that you think I haven't already done so.
Good. I am going to enter into a patient meditation for the rest of my time. If you need me, I'll be here.
All right.
Yeah, and I think it's like this, it is this kind of overgrown hillside with, golden grass and a an old rocket that your family landed on here hundreds of years ago, centuries and centuries ago. And I'm sure you've been here before, and everyone has seen the opera that was your mother and your sister's fight that happened here. And yeah, this is a very, very different situation. But I think, the 24 hours goes by and your sister is not challenged, and things go without a hitch.
I think I try to be the first one to like congratulate her when the 24 hours is up.
Yeah. I think she gets up and I think she gives you like a kind of a sisterly hug. Totally, when you congratulate her. Thank you. It's good to have you back.
Just don't die before Mom does, because I don't want to be in charge.
She laughs. Come on, as soon as this goes to a republic, you're going to be the first prime minister.
No.
People are already talking about it.
No.
You're polling very well.
No. What is it? If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve.
Nice. Cool. And I think about an hour after that is done, your middle sister is found.
Is she like tied up like a hog tied in a closet somewhere?
No, I think she was left outside the city, kind of in the hills, on the other side of the city from where so she couldn't
Nice.
find a way to untie herself and sprint over to heaven forbid, but no, she
Nice.
Cool. I feel like we're at a what now space where what now? I don't feel like I really want to like head out into the capital ship with just 2 out of 3.
That's true. Yeah.
Do we want to like go about getting some team members together, and maybe call it a night a little early? Do we want to? Okay.
Yeah, that could work.
Cool. Awesome.
So we've got us two.
I feel like we have like done action to avoid action. It was like that there could have been like a ridiculous knife fight, and instead, which I love. There was a kidnapping, which is fun. It's still fun. Good times. Jeremiah, I feel like you were talking, and
that's fine. Yeah, I was just thinking out loud. It's like we've got the two of us that are going. Jay's character will go hopefully when he's able to make it next time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what other
Captain
kind
Shoe.
of.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he would certainly go. Yeah. So right now that's sort of because Jay's character is, he's working with the pirates at the moment.
Yeah.
So right now that's sort of 2 representatives on the pirate side, 1 Mozzie side, and then neutral merchant in the middle.
Right.
So I don't know if it makes probably doesn't. I guess I don't know enough about capital ships. Like we're not going to be rolling up with an army of people, but just to keep logistics simple, like one more person from the Mozzie family in some capacity. That way, it's sort of there's parity, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
There was the guy who taught me how to fight, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head now.
Was
But
it
he was
Uchi?
Yeah.
Maybe
Uchi.
that sounds right.
Yep.
Uchi? Yeah, he's the Marine general.
Yeah.
Yep. The commandant. Yeah.
Commandant. Yeah.
I
read all
so
these
he's
things.
like semi-retired now, though. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Enough.
So yeah, she goes to him. So you want one last adventure before you really retire?
One last mission in service of the family.
What are you asking me?
Well, we have coordinates for old Earth capital ship. We're gonna go get it.
Who else is going?
Well, me, Aiden Brookson. He's the one who brokered the deal to get the coordinates, and the privateers that were in charge of who found the coordinates in the first place.
Do we know anything about what state this capital ship is in?
Nope.
No, I don't think I'm probably not there. Yeah, but I don't think just thinking out loud. I don't think the pirates really had any information on that.
Yeah.
I don't think they approached it very closely. They're like, "Oh, that's
Yeah. Totally. That's the vibe I got too.
yeah." All the more reason to bring experienced military guys.
Yeah. He says, "This is as much as I hate space. This is a fine reason to go out into space again."
He's Mozzie Marine, not Mozzie Navy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's done like low orbit entries, personal low orbit entries, but yeah. I think he's more in the bones. Space is disease and death wrapped in void and whatever. Cool. Yeah, I like it. I like this. I like this crew you put together. That's really fun.
Yeah, I like all the There's a lot of symmetry, right? Because Captain Shu is like an ex-Imperial officer.
Right.
Then we've got Uchi, who's a semi-retired Mozzie military officer. So yeah.
So is Ghost.
And Ghost, yeah, he was also in the Marines.
Yep.
If we were out to just completely backstab Pirate Captain Shu, because he could be in a really bad position. But I'm like, let the deal go through. This seems like it's great.
Yeah. Look, as long as he keeps up his end, this is as much, hey, we're making sure you keep up your end of the deal as it is we want to keep our end of the deal,
That's true, actually, yeah. I'm certainly invested in this deal.
Yeah, so.
I dig it. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun, weird adventure. I would like everyone to be there for that, and I like the idea of ending a little early. That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you all for coming to play for an hour. That was fun.
Yeah.
Does because I've never really read through the Traveler rules. Are there any sort of is there any sort of XP or advancement or anything like that in Traveler?
That's a great question. The answer is not really, and if you want to increase something, so there is there are 3 books, right?
Right.
And there's world characters and combat. There is nothing about this in characters and combat. There is worlds and adventures. There's nothing about this in worlds and adventures. However, in a weird page in book 2, Starships, is a page I have thing, and they've got experience. And it's basically when you want to gain experience, tell the referee how you're training and what your like education plan is.
Oh, okay.
And they'll work it out, which is strange and kind of fun. I think it's a cool way to get so I think some people would look at this and be like, this does not encourage players to do any kind of behavior. This is experience points with no real oomph. But I would counter that with it encourages players to interact with the world, right? And look for a teacher or look for an education, faction or something who could train them.
I also like the idea like that, and also like it's sort of like a downtime, passing time kind of a thing. Like you've done some big stuff maybe, and then now things slow down and like let's see what people do in between. I don't mind that at all. That's it feels very old school.
It does. As the what do the OSR kids say, diegetic, in game, but I think it's neat. Hello, Roger. I'm sorry that you have gotten here right as we're kind of gonna, I think, end things a little early, but we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming in and saying hello.
Yeah, you can rewind and watch the.
Yeah, definitely, and cool. And we'll meet next week and jump into this capital ship. I'm sure it's fine. It's just been shut down. It's a little dusty. There won't be anything weird on it.
There's no weird alien eggs or
alien eggs. What's an egg? Yeah.
Or whatever.
Just as long as we're not, like,
species stuck in cages.
No, as long as we're not like Prometheus style scientists.
Oh God, yeah. That movie was I did not like it.
It was a misuse of
a
lot of really, like, the cast was amazing.
Yeah.
It's
okay. So it's like the Blood Rain movies where they had an amazing cast and they just wasted them.
I like this tradition of us at the end of games talking about media. And now I have to look up Blood Rain because I have no idea what the hell that was.
That's a Yui.
15, 20 years ago. That's
a Yui Bowl movie, right?
Yeah.
It's based on
video game, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's Rain, Rayne. I remember that much.
Yeah, because that's the director. Like, it was one of those things. Like, he's made a lot of video game movies, and they're pretty much universally panned. Like, they never do. But he gets some big names and a bunch of money somehow. It's wild.
Yeah,
Ben Kingsley is in this?
I want to say Ben. Yes!
Right?
It's like an amazing cast. But, yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez, Billy Zane, Meatloaf? What's
Michael
happening?
Madsen.
And it was a horrible movie. I mean, it's like, have a few drinks and watch it. You'll be amused. Kind of.
Michael Madsen? What is happening? Christelle Loken?
Yep.
Why wasn't this the best thing ever?
Yeah, you should just look at the other movies.
Just watch it. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah, just hate watch it sometime.
Oh, I totally hate watch that. That sounds great.
I remember we went and saw it in the theater, and we were just so because I'm like, okay, it's got Ben Kingsley and Michael Madsen. How bad could it be?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Turns out Ben Kingsley and Michael Madsen need to pay rent too. Turns out.
Yeah.
And that's. It's great showing scenery though. Like they do it well. It's just
awesome.
Oh, he did a Far Cry movie? Oh man, there's so many bad video game movies he's done that I didn't watch.
I think I saw the Far Cry movie. I don't remember why I saw the Far Cry. Because my husband plays video games, probably.
And also a lot of them have like really awesome soundtracks. Like I have the there was like a 2-disc soundtrack for Alone in the Dark. Again, not a good movie. Soundtrack great if you love, metal.
Nice. Oh, you know what? Okay, so we're talking about bad movies
Yeah.
with great soundtracks. 1993 film that is totally terrible, although it has Cuba Gooding Jr. in it, Judgment Night.
Oh, hey.
It's
bad.
It's a pretty bad movie, but the soundtrack is all hip hop and metal bands put together, like mashed together to make songs.
Oh, I dig that.
It is really good. The soundtrack is fantastic. So anyway, I wouldn't, don't watch the movie, but definitely check out the soundtrack.
Speaking of movies with just like a crazy, amazing like cast of characters, like
yeah.
It's got some great people in it.
Yes, and
oh yeah, that was the Emilio Estevez one too, wasn't it?
Yep. Stephen Dorff.
God.
Jeremy Piven. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Back when they were babies.
I'm looking at some of these. I'm gonna listen to some of these songs tonight.
Yeah. The Judgment Night soundtrack is
Slayer. Oh man, that sounds great.
It's so good. It is so good. There's an Onyx song in there that is worth the price of admission.
Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam. Okay, I gotta listen to that.
Right?
I'm excited about this soundtrack now.
It's good. It's really good. Cool. Go forth and listen to the Judgment Night soundtrack, folks. We will see you next week. We're cutting this one short because we want the all hands on deck for the totally fine, definitely not having any weird alien infections capital ship next week. And we will see you then. Good night. Hold on, let me put up the thing so that it's a little easier. Thank you for joining us, because thank you.